New York City.
New York City.
New York City.
That's right, New York City. Because it's you, me, and the New York P, we're back for another edition. It's a pretty simple show. Nothing too crazy happens here. Basically, what we do is we go through the best junk news of the week, and this week it's June 1st through June 7th. And I believe we do have a bit of breaking news here. Can I get my breaking news sounder? Yes. That's right. A little bit of breaking news that just made the list here. It came into the D slot there, as you can see, and we'll get to this story momentarily here, but had to get you quick to the headline because, like I said, this is breaking news. Breaking. We have $10 million cannonballs that exist in the world here because father of 12, Nick Cannon, I believe, has his balls insured for, what I believe is $10 million there. So we will get to that story momentarily, but it is breaking right now that dad of 12, Nick Cannon, has his balls insured for $12 million. So what we're going to do here in You, Me, and the New York P, like I said, very simple. What we do, we go in blind. I have read very few of these articles, if any. These I don't think I've had much at all. What's up, Daniel Escobar? In case you just joined me. Breaking news. Father of 12, Nick Cannon, has his balls insured for $10 million. $10 million, not 12, even though he's got 12 kids. So not even worth $1 million a kid. I bet that ticked him off. I don't know what that comes out to. Hello, Rodeo MT52. Breaking news of the day. Father of 12, Nick Cannon, has his balls insured for $10 million. Incredible news. But this is You, Me, and the New York P. So how we're going to do this is we're going to start by ranking the headline of each one of these stories first. At the end of these story lists, we'll have one winner because we're going to rank the headline. Then we're going to blindly read this story here and go through and figure out how New York Posty was it? Did it really live up to the standards of the New York Post? Did it have the kind of smut that you're looking for, like really garbage writing that has maybe some decent puns in it, but then leaves out total words, maybe omits full sentences that really needed to be there? So I'm excited to see what we have this week. So, first one here, how to end a relationship without having to dump someone. From the headline, I'm already going to tell you it sounds pretty incredible because I really hope that this is all an article about how to fake your own death. Because I think that's probably the best approach is to just say, hey, you know what? Instead of saying, I'm going to dump you, it's because it's different than a ghost. Because ghosting, it feels like, oh, he didn't care about me. Faking your own death, perfect crime. It could probably cause some other issues in your life. I don't know if you'd have any, power bills that would get shut off. There's a Simpsons episode where a lot of stuff like that happens. You know, if the state thinks you're dead or the city thinks you're dead, that could be problematic, I would imagine. But it seems like the perfect way to just get rid of a gal without her feeling too bad. You just fake your own death. It seems perfect. So, how to end a relationship without having to dump someone. Let's rate the headline first. Headline's pretty solid. I think I'm going to give it a 75 there. 75 on the headline scale. Alrighty. Let's come back over here. Just shrink this down just a bit. Woo! Okay. So, 75 here. Let's get right into it. I recently discovered a cheeky psychology trick that was quite brilliant, and I thought, ooh, I could turn that into a breakup hack. All right. It wasn't designed to be used in this way. Parentheses here. Sorry, Freud. So I guess this is a psychology article. And it's a slightly shameless thing to do if I'm being honest. But I think I might be onto something. It's not as bad as ghosting. So see, it could be a death. It could be a fake death. I think that's the way to go. It's not as bad as ghosting, but I have to say it's just as sneaky. Hello, Tommy G. If you don't know, breaking news of the day in the D slot there. Father of 12, Nick Cannon, has his balls insured for $10 million. Huge news of the day here. Thank you for commenting. So it's not as bad as ghosting, but I have to say it's just as sneaky. All right. It's for those of us who aren't great at those deep and meaningful chats, or more specifically, the it's not you, it's me chats. Hello, anxious avoidance. If that sounds like you, then lean in, my friends. Quick word of warning. All right, I'm already into this. I like that the New York Post is warning me, a reader. This is pretty solid. I can imagine it's going to get pretty off the rails here pretty quick. Quick word of warning, it's not exactly PC. Okay, so maybe there's some casual racism that's about to happen here. I have no idea. Like my therapist would tell me off for doing it, but in the spirit of sharing, may I present to you the gray rock technique? Let me explain. This is a trick psychologists use to stop arguments. Just like a literal gray rock is dull and boring, you adopt these qualities to repel someone. Okay? This sounds like I'm failing to see what's not PC about this. Okay, you become snore-inducing, impassive, and bland. You're not giving them a reaction, so they back off. Now my little brain thought, well, this technique could also be used as a handy trick to dump someone without them realizing it. So say you've been on a couple dates with someone and you suddenly realize they're not for you. Rather than ghost them or have a cringe-inducing chat where you blame yourself, you simply become a gray rock. When they text you next, you just respond with something dull like haha or thanks. You don't ask questions back, and you certainly don't initiate conversation. Okay? The person becomes so bored with you, they'll end up kicking you to the curb. And best of all, they will think it's their idea. Kind of genius, kind of smart. No, this doesn't seem like it's going to work at all. I tried it and it worked great. Not my finest moment, but I've accepted my anxious attachment style. Just fake your death. Like, this seems like more work. And actually, come to think of it, a guy did it to me recently. Now, this guy is not boring. Oh, no, he's a hoot, but he became boring. Our first couple of dates were great. We laughed, shared stories, sent each other funny memes during work hours. Then, around the 3-week mark, he suddenly just became meh. It says first couple of dates. I wonder if maybe they hooked up. So is that what's... I don't know if that's what's being implied here, is that this is a post-hookup. He wasn't great in the sack, or she wasn't great in the sack, what have you. This is the way to get out of it. Okay. I would send him something funny, and he would just write back, LOL. I would ask if he wanted to catch up for a drink, and he would just write, sorry, I've got boring life admin to do. Oh, he wrote the word boring in there. Pretty solid. So right on the nose. Gave a thumbs up emoji. Yeah, all right. Oh, God. There was some story about her rolling around half undressed with this guy. So, yeah, I guess it's a mix between ghosting. Man, it seems like I said, just fake your own death. That would be the best thing out of this. And then if they see you later, then deal with it then. But okay. So that's pretty much it. It's just a dating hack that's, yeah. Just give a ha-ha or a thumbs up and it'll get you out of your relationship. All right, score's getting downgraded. 51. That wasn't great. I'm going to be honest with you. I was really hoping for something juicier other than just be boring. They just wrote an entire article about how to be boring. Okay, that's the New York Post for you. That's why it's the best junk news of the week. I don't think that one's going to win. All right, let's get on to the next story here. Chips Ahoy faces backlash from furious fans over allegedly half-baked recipe overhaul. Quote, absolutely shameful. That's right, it is absolutely shameful. So let's rate the headline. I like the half-baked pun in there. That's very New York Post. Chips Ahoy faces backlash. I don't know that it's going to be backlash. I think it's going to be like maybe one video that somebody put up on TikTok or something like that, and then a few tweets about it. And also, by the way, if you're just joining us, breaking news. Father of 12, Nick Cannon, has his balls insured for $10 million. That story is coming up momentarily. You don't want to go anywhere. By the way, if you are watching on one of those Twitter sites, something like that, go subscribe to the YouTube thing. I think I'm supposed to tell you to do that. And remember, breaking news. Father of 12, Nick Cannon, has his balls insured for $10 million, just shy of $1 million a ball. We'll get into that story momentarily. I have not read it yet. I'm just as excited as you. All right, Chips Ahoy facing some backlash from furious fans. Headline I like. I think it's a strong headline. It's not super juicy, but it's punny. It's fun. I like it. So 79. All right. Those cookie monsters is the first line of the story. Perfect. Just what I expect out of the New York Post. I want the first line to be catchy and stupid. Now, there's no pun here. This basically just says those cookie monsters. So now, Chips Ahoy fans are dismissing a new recipe as half-baked, and they're demanding the corporate keepers of America's best-selling chocolate chip cookie brand reverse their allegedly not-so-sweet switcheroo. Man. Okay, so did they, acknowledge it? Introduce the new... Okay, Mondelez, with the help of actress and singer Keke Palmer, introduced the new and improved take on the snack shelf staple back in March. Okay, so yes, they did officially launch this as a new recipe. So I remember Domino's doing this when Domino's acknowledged that they just sucked. And so they're like, hey, we're going to actually get real tomatoes now. And I'm sure they've gone back on all that. I don't know. But yeah, so they came out and said, hey, the cookie you love just got even better. So Chips Ahoy had a surprise recipe update, debuted in March. And yeah, they have not had any tweaks to the treat in roughly a decade. So they tested a whopping 60 recipes before making their pick. Proudly announced at the time the cookies would now contain, quote, specially blended chocolate chips with an increased cacao content, a stronger dose of Madagascar vanilla extract, and, quote, just the right cookie texture. I always like that, where somebody's declaring this is the right cookie texture. And real quick, before we go further, those Chips Ahoy, only good if you have milk around. Put in the comments there if you prefer the chewy or the original Chips Ahoy, because I believe this is referring primarily to the original Chips Ahoy that looked amazing when I was a kid. And then I would beg my mom for a box, and they would undoubtedly kind of just suck or let me down every time. They're a highly disappointing cookie. But if you had milk, you could make it work. The milk made it go a little bit. But I said overall, I felt like it was a pretty disappointing cookie. Now, the chewy ones, they're chewy and the texture comes out great, but it just tastes processed. I don't know. You can taste the chewiness chemical in there. So I'm not a big fan of the chewy, but I'll take it if I have to. And I don't know if they call it a soft and chewy or what they call it. But we're just talking about the original Chip Ahoy here. Chip Ahoy. I'm going to leave off the S just because I can. So the apparently out-of-order overhaul is alleged to have taken 4 years, and many Americans appear confounded by the change, and they're taking to social media barricades to lob treat-seeking missiles in hopes of coercing the creator into reneging on the unwanted update. That was quite a sentence there from the New York Post. Some bitter cookie critics participating in a discussion were even promising to boycott the brand forever. Great. Truly terrible. This is a quote now. Absolutely shameful that anyone greenlit this. I've been eating Chips Ahoy for my whole life, but this is worse than the worst low-budget store brands. I won't be buying ever again. Okay, well, now, this is honestly good marketing because I am going to go out and try. If people are saying it's bad, I got to try and see how bad it is. It's one of those weird things when a smell's really bad, you want your friends to smell it. It's just one of those things. I would say, quote, stocking up on the originals wherever I can find them. New ones taste of a darker chocolate with a nasty vanilla aftertaste, one frustrated reviewer said. Another one, I used to love Chips Ahoy. I had one of the new ones and threw away an entire party-sized box. These people are really bitching about Chips Ahoy. I guess I don't eat near enough Chips Ahoy to know if the recipe's all out of whack. All out of whack. But yeah, all right, that's about it. Uproar over Chips Ahoy. Kind of a letdown story. It had some fun quotes in it. I'm going to give it a 42. And I kind of knew what it was going to be going in. Also, by the way, we are one story away from the important breaking news of today. Father of 12, Nick Cannon, has his balls insured for $10 million. I don't even know what that means, but we have $10 million cannon balls at large right now. So protect them at all costs, or maybe don't. Maybe you don't have to protect them anymore. I don't know. I don't know much about insurance. Maybe he's able to do whatever he wants with those cannonballs now. All right. Next headline here from the New York Post. There's a fight for phone calls in the workplace. Employers are hiring pros to combat Gen Z workers, quote, telephonophobia. I had not pronounced original Chips Ahoy there from Daniel Escobar. I agree. I think I'm going to go with the originals, but I got to have milk. If I don't have milk and I try to eat them, they're very dry, almost sandy. They feel like sand, like crumbling out of your mouth almost. It's a weird sensation. So all right. A fight for phone calls in the workplace. Employers are hiring pros to combat Gen Z workers' telephonophobia. Telephonophobia. Definitely sounds like a dystopian chant that'll happen in the future or something like that, but I'm okay with it. Every now and then, the telephone or a live meeting is the best way to approach something. Nothing wrong with that. Many other times, though, text or email, perfectly good. Nothing wrong with that. And on the cell phone, nowadays, it's a lot of those spammer calls or these rando just, like I don't even know if it's spam. Maybe it's people that legitimately have my number or they're collecting for somebody else. It's a lot of like wrong numbers or somebody talks after 2 seconds. So I stopped answering that stuff. Unknowns, obviously, you don't have to answer. I'm pretty sure you can just get rid of that. But telephonophobia. So the headline, I like the word. Never heard the word before. So I'm going to give it a solid 81 here. And I want to figure out what kind of pros they're hiring because that's the job I want to go into next is teaching people how to talk on the phone. So here's what you do. You dial 9 to get out. That's what you really have to do first because that's the key to every office phone system I've learned is you can't just start dialing. If you just start dialing, it's going to go to the extension, and that's like your internal extension. So you hit 214 trying to dial out, well, you're going to go to extension 2148 or whoever has that extension there. And then that guy's going to be ticked off at you. And then you're screwed. So you have to dial 9. That's the first thing I would teach everyone. Dial 9 to dial out. Or sorry, hit 9 to dial out. All right. Let's get into this article here. A fight for phone calls in the workplace. Employers are hiring pros to combat Gen Z workers' telephonophobia. Oh, gosh. Texts and Slacks and Teams, oh my. In the world of remote work, Zoom calls and digital messaging have long reigned supreme, and good old phone calls have fallen by the wayside. Oh, good at that. Look at that. According to the Wall Street Journal, some employers are attempting to revive the phone call to break up the monotony of staring at their screens, much to the chagrin of younger employees who have skirted the traditional means of communicating. All right? Sorry, I don't have audio to play there. Let me just play some audio real quickly, just so I can take a drink of something. That didn't buy me much time.
Tavares, right in the butt?
What?
No. Blake.
This is the best.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, that's it. So that'll just be my go-to. When I need to take a sip of something, we're just going to play Tavares there. Sorry about... I'm not that bad to the bone. So, okay, back to telephonophobia. So apparently, when you jump on a phone call, these people are trying to sell it to younger people like it's a relief. You don't have to look at your screen anymore. Now, I will tell you, I do hate Zoom calls in the work environment or in the workplace because years ago, people did not have to see me. And now there is this expectation that I have to have my camera on to see a client who's in another state. And that did used to just be like hey, let me share my screen and we'll go through this PDF. Like, I work in tech. You can see my photo if you want to, but you don't need to see my face while I'm delivering this report to you here. So that's the only relief I could see here. Gen Z's telephonophobia, like I said, if they've skirted it as a means of communication, fine. All right, let's read on. Despite the 51-year-old's best efforts to revitalize the phone call, I guess this is the pro, his team sends voice memos via Slack. But to younger generation, such as aptly nicknamed Zoomers, phone calls are a petrifying prospect. Their phone anxiety has even resulted in a wave of young people keeping the do not disturb function on all day long to avoid talking on the phone. Maybe they just don't want to talk on the phone to the people they work with. Oh, look at this. Is this some spam on Sorry, I see comments from all kinds of places. So it didn't hit the YouTube there. Somebody spammed me on another streamer site. I will get cheap viewers. I'm going to go hit that link after this. That's what I want. I want the cheapest damn viewers I can find. Just spam the algorithms. I'm going to go buy 10 million views on this afterwards, and people will be like, oh my God, there's 10 million views on this, but nobody knows who he is. Certainly that makes perfect sense. So, no, don't buy cheap viewers anywhere. All right. So, I have no problem with keeping the do not disturb on to avoid talking on the phone if you're actually working. Epitomizing this could have been an email. Workers, mostly under the age of 40, prefer digital messaging rather than chatting over the phone on an unscheduled call. Totally agree. Unscheduled call, I don't really love it unless we're like trying to get something done super quickly. But asynchronous communication where it's an email, perfectly fine by me. If there's like a 3-day turn time on something, just shoot it over on email, and then I've got a record of it in writing. And there's so much that it's probably easier for me to reference it there. But hey, if we're trying to make plans for an hour from now, by all means, call me or something like that. All good. So depends on the situation there. When making a cold call, Riley Young, 26, listens to Boss Ass Bitch by Nicki Minaj to give herself a confidence boost before dialing. The Plano, Texas employee at Next After, where she works as an audience engagement manager, is comfortable walking up to people at their desk in the office, but the thought of picking up the phone when working from home is a no-go. Okay, yeah. If I can't see their facial expressions, I'm fearful that I might say the wrong thing or they'll take something the wrong way, and I won't be able to tell. I mean, okay, I could see that. I don't want people to see my face. That's why I hate this YouTube thing. This is the worst. This is the absolute worst. Only reason I tried to get into radio is because I'm hideously ugly. My voice works perfectly. I don't want people to see me, nor do I want to have to be presentable on a day-to-day basis. That's the beauty of working in tech. I was just like, yes, you can wear whatever the hell you want here. It's perfect, unless you're going to be some sales guy, and then you got to wear different crap. But I'm not going to dress that way. I'm not going to wear a puffy vest. I'm not going to have Dockers. I'm not going to wear penny loafers or whatever they wear nowadays. I don't know. It was always like weird slip-ons or fancy sneakers or something like that. I don't know. I'm not a sales guy in tech. So bosses may prefer an employee who answers their phone over someone who excels in their role. Okay, that's fine. Answering their phone's great. When they give you bad information on that phone call, you'll probably want the person who excels in their role, but whatever. So a lot of things are like, that's all we care about is great communication. And I understand that. Communication, an important part of the workplace. Also, being competent, an extremely important part of the workplace. So this boss has recently noticed an uptick in people who fail to pick up their phones when contacted about job opportunities. Okay. Again, just leave a voicemail and I'm sure they'll call you back. I'll do business all day with someone who answers their phone. I would say it's probably safe to not answer your phone all the time. If you're looking for a job, yes, you need to answer your phone all the time. Program numbers, don't answer rando numbers. F that shit. Sorry, I didn't mean to curse there. I apologize, but screw this article's advice. I don't care what your boss wants you to do. Like, if you know it's a client, answer. If you know it's someone else in your company, answer for sure. But I don't think you should answer every single phone call that comes your way. So the emergence of corporate telephonophobia has resulted in a need to hire consultants like Mary Jane Cops. That's not a real name. There's no one named Mary Jane Cops, otherwise known as, quote, the phone lady, who has upped her daily charge to $3,000 for employee trainings and $195 per hour for individual sessions due to demand. Ugh. I am definitely going to go into this business where I'm going to be a phone call talking consultant. Here's what you need to do. Say hello, dial 9, say goodbye, listen, ask questions, but more importantly, listen to what they want. That's the key. And I know because I'm terrible at it. My approach to phone calls is just talk at people until they don't want to be on the call anymore. And that's worked great for me so far. Many people have left phone calls saying, I don't want to call that guy again. And that works great. So I've started getting questions in workshops that surprise me, like, quote, how do I end a phone call? Things that to many of us seem obvious are no longer obvious. Incredible. There we go. Right after this, go watch Barry the Wink Man is pretty good. Thank you, Leonard. And I only answer calls from my from my boss. I understand. I'll be honest with you. I'm kind of right there with you. I kind of only answer from my boss. Everyone else, I'll listen to their voicemail, or just hit me on Slack, hit me on an email unless this is absolutely urgent. But sure, my boss, I'll answer your call. And boss, don't text me after hours because I really hate that stuff. All right, telephonophobia. It gave us some talking points there. I'm going to hang it in like the 72 region. Nothing too spicy or salacious there. And then, ending the call. There you go. Good advice. I got another meeting to jump on and I go to the fridge. I just kind of wrap it up and say, all right, that's about all we have. Next steps for me is you'll hear from me in a few days or you'll get an email after this or something like that. Next steps are bing, bing, bing. All right. Have a good one. So I just say, whatever the hell we just accomplished on this meeting, here's the next steps. Now let's get the hell out of here. It's pretty much it. Oh my gosh, we're finally here. If you're just joining us, we do have breaking news. Father of 12, Nick Cannon, has his cannonballs insured for $10 million. All right, I've been excited to get to this story. Let me play some audio here so I can take a sip of something and get a drink.
Tavares, right in the butt?
What?
No. Blake.
This is the best.
Yeah, that's it.
This is the best. That's it. All right. Dad of 12, Nick Cannon, has his balls insured for $10 million. I mean, it might be the headline of the century. I'm going to go, I rarely give 100. I almost gave 100. I'm going to go 97. 97 seems solid to me. I think it's a really, really, as it, I don't know if it was Lloyd's of London's who wrote the policy. We're going to find out in just a minute who took on this high-risk policy. And I'm also confused about what the policy is and what it's insuring. He already has 12 kids. That in and of itself is pretty solid insurance for your bloodline at large. Also, why is it the balls specifically? I've got so many questions. Like, is it what's contained within the balls that is insurable? Or is it the physical testy itself? Because the material contained within could potentially be extracted and frozen and stored, from what I understand. But I don't know. I've never been through that situation. So, all right. Here we go. So, huge news, breaking, like I mentioned. Father of 12, Nick Cannon, has his balls insured for $10 million. I'm yet to read this. I have no idea what this means. Let's get into it. Nick Cannon's most prized possessions are now worth a pretty penny. The wild and out host and creator, who has 12 kids with 6 different women, has had his balls insured for $10 million. Cannon, 43, used Dr. Squatch's ball valuation tool. Okay. There can't for real be something called Dr. Squatch's ball valuation tool. Is it available to anyone? I mean, it's hard for me not to just go immediately into researching Dr. Squatch's ball valuation tool and see if I can get the rundown on pretty much every mid-level local celebrity we have out there. One, Kevin Turner. I would love to know what his balls are valued at. I think that would be great information to know. I wonder if they just go off social media clout, because I mean, I don't know. Is it just a Q score thing? Dr. Squatch's ball valuation tool. Incredible. It assessed his family jewels on several factors, including size. Okay, so the size of the actual unit itself, or units, I suppose. I don't know if they're always equal in sizing. I've never really taken out like a volume measurement tool or anything like that to measure the radius. So I don't know if it's even every time. But so, yes, Dr. Squatch's ball valuation tool assessed his family jewels on several factors, including size, favorite features. I don't know what that means. Several factors, including size, favorite features, and bedroom maneuvers. Favorite features of what? The size of the testy, I understand. Favorite features, like his personal favorite features, like there's a ridge. Like, I like this ridge on the south side of my left one. Like, I don't know what the favorite features are. There's a mole on, the underneath the, I don't want to get into some gross stuff, but man, weird. All right. Due to the outcome of the price evaluation, the Masked Singer host has been given the coveted title of most valuable balls. Well, that seems unfair. Who else has even used this tool? So that's it. I'm going to have to go do a deep dive on Dr. Squatch's ball valuation tool, because that's the thing, is this public data that they're using. I'm on the screen now. Hold on, let me see if it pops up. What are your balls worth? Get a real-time valuation of your family jewels in seconds. Look at this guy. Wow. And so, yeah, it looks like everybody's going in here. Oh, that guy's real low. That guy's not even $1 million. Leathering Larry, Aroma Aaron at 288. Wow, this is incredible. I could just hang out on the ball ticker all day long. Dr. Squatch. What an incredible business model this man's put together. I'm truly in shock. This is brilliant. As I said, incredible marketing for them. What are your balls worth? As I said, clearly he took, how it works. Take our scientific or our super scientific evaluation here. We'll tell you how much your balls are worth. If they're worth more than $1.9 million, join our exclusive Ball of Fame. We'll send you a special offer when you're done. Put your balls in our hands. All right, I'm going to be honest. It's pretty solid. If this was all just a marketing ploy for, I don't have that drop. The what do you do with the balls? Is that guy from Barstool? They tell me that. If this is all a ploy from a damn podcast, good on them. They got me. That's the thing. That's what I hate, because they got me with the Nick Cannon ball insurance. So if one of those guys has gone on and this is his business model, more power to him. I've never listened to those cats. I don't know much about them. I'll see stuff pop up on Twitter. But so if that's what they're doing, is valuing people's balls, all right. I tip my hat to those gentlemen. All right, so should we send pics? Yeah, send pics. Okay, so let's read on here. Dr. Squatch, a natural men's soap and personal care company, took out an official policy via MMA Momentous to give Cannon's balls extra protections. Extra protection. Right. Okay. I'm trying to read on. Yeah. Don't go another day without protecting and caring for your most valuable assets with ball-to-ball coverage through Dr. Squatch's new ball care products. So this is clearly all a marketing ploy. And I'm sure Nick Cannon got paid to do this. So, I mean, he's got 12 kids. So, all right. I mean, it worked from a marketing standpoint. It's going to make me lower the story a little bit, but it's pretty damn cool. I'm not going to lie. A ball valuation tool, as elementary and juvenile as it is, they put the time in. They got the little ticker up there. It did its job. I'm going to drop it into the low 90s because it's not exclusive to the New York Post. Everybody's going to have that story. It's not like it's just them. That is not a very specific New York Posty type of story. And that's the problem with some of these this week. So overall, though, I think it was well written. I think they did a great job highlighting that company. I'm glad I got to check out Dr. Squatch and his ball valuation. And maybe someday I will put my balls in his hands. You never know. All right, moving on. Jennifer Aniston gushes over Jon Hamm after morning show sex scene, which I didn't watch, but I do remember that story. And then the quote here, big, tall drink of water. All right. Big, tall drink of water. That's fine. I think Jon Hamm considers himself funny. I don't find him to be all that amusing, so I don't know if he was trying to be funny in that show or not. Big, tall drink of water. I have to look. Jon Hamm height. 6'1". Does 6'1" qualify you as a tall drink of water? Also, let me start by qualifying this. I have no problem admitting when I'm wrong. I've been wrong about a lot of things in my life. Many times I speak without knowing what I'm speaking about. And for years, I tell you, I thought the phrase tall drink of water just meant somebody was tall. That guy's a tall drink of water. All right, cool. Dude's tall. So I used that phrase quite commonly, and even once used it in an HR setting when I was a hiring manager, and we had an older gentleman come in, quite tall. Not by any means attractive, but quite tall. And speaking with some other managers there that I was working with afterwards, and I said, I like that guy. He was good. Tall drink of water. And I was informed that, no, I think that means you want to drink them up. And I was acting all thirsty for this tall old dude who was really not my type. So I'm happy to admit that there. So before I get into this, I've looked it up. I like the big, tall drink of water headline. I'm going to put it in the low 80s. It's fine. I really like that they use the word gushes, because that didn't need to be there. They knew what they were doing when they said Jennifer Aniston gushes over Jon Hamm. I was like, okay. I'm like, this is really unnecessary. Phrasing on this seems intentional, seems rather provocative, but that's also what I love about the New York Post, is that they're happy to do that. They don't care. All right, let's get into this dumb story. But also, I do need a drink of something here. So, mic going in and out there. Sorry. Do need a drink. Hold on.
Tavares, right in the butt?
What?
No. Blake.
This is the best.
Yeah, that's it.
This is the best. That's right. All right. Back into you, me, and the New York P. And by the way, if you're just joining us, the big breaking news of the day was that dad of 12, Nick Cannon, has his balls insured for $10 million. We read the story. It's pretty much all marketing, but either way, his balls are protected with a $10 million policy. So I guess if they get cut off, he gets paid $10 million. I don't really understand it, but that's how it's going to work. Yes. So Jon Hamm and Jen Aniston had this love scene in the morning show, which I have not caught up on that, but I did see a lot of clips of it in slow motion, and I paused them a lot. And so it basically looked a lot like this. I'll pull it onto the screen for a second there. Like they were all over each other, and she was laying on them, and apparently they were all naked and sweaty and gross and sticky and stuff like that. So let's get into this New York Post article here to rate it. Jon Hamm has a way with women. Not a great opening line. Gonna be honest with you. Pretty lackluster. What about Hamm? Would have worked great. That's the thing. Rodeo MT 5-2 had it. And yes, Aniston got all on top of old ham bone here. And then the next sentence, Jennifer Aniston is gushing over her co-star months after their, quote, raunchy sex scene aired. Was it raunchy? I mean, like, did they show it? Did they show it? I don't know. But if it's raunchy, then I might have to go check it out. I'm going to start the morning show right after this broadcast ends. So Jon Hamm, yes, That big tall drink of water, Aniston 55 said during her Variety Actors on Actors interview. And that interview is with Quinta Brunson. I guess it came out yesterday. So yeah, Jon Hamm joined the cast. Okay. Their sex scene from the October 11th episode went viral on social media. Yes, there's a few more pics. I'll drag them over and see. So yeah, I said it was a lot of like, here's old Jen Aniston all naked, and her stuff was touching the ham bone's butt. So they were up close and personal for sure. They definitely got to know each other. So yes, apparently she says, we've been friends for so many years. It was exciting to explore that side of Alex in that more feminine romantic world. Alex must be her character name. Also, there was kind of a sense of like, fuck it. Don't know what the it is there. I don't know. Maybe, I really don't know. So it seems like she was thinking like that. So called The Stanford Student, the episode of the morning show with the Aniston and Hamm sex scene featured Alex lying naked on top of Paul after the two got intimate following an intense interview. Interview is a interesting phrase there as well. In December, Aniston revealed that she refused to use an intimacy coordinator to shoot the racy scene. Quote, I was like, what does that mean? They said, where someone asks you if you're okay. And I'm like, please, this is awkward enough. We're seasoned. We can figure this one out. She was like, believe me, I know how to lay on top of Jon Hamm's butt naked. I got this. So she just goes on to talk about that. I've already read a bunch of that stuff. Then she talks about the show and how it's unfinished business. Man, there wasn't a lot of gushing in there. Not even photos of it. She just talks about how they were on a closed set. Nothing else really there. And then, she says, the relationship will continue in the next season at some point. Yeah, not much gushing in there. I thought for sure there would be a very graphic video. So for that reason alone, this is going to have to go down to like a 22. It does not cut it. I'm sorry. No deal, McCutcheon. No deal. All right. Now on to this next one here. And this one's an interesting one because I don't know what this conclusion means, but I absolutely love the headline. So the headline reads, hot flight attendants provide better customer experience, study finds. Quote, attractiveness is essential. Okay. Gushers, underrated fruit snack. I agree there. Attractiveness is essential. So I don't understand what that means. If it means people perceive hotties as giving better service, or if hotties just like naturally have a more hospitable gene, I don't know. Because I don't personally see the correlation here. But we'll see. We'll see what the article says. Headline, though, great little headline. 88 on the headline scale here. Hot flight attendants provide better customer experience. Study finds attractiveness is essential. Okay. And thank God attractiveness is not essential to the radio job. I sure as hell hope that nobody cares about it on this YouTube thing because they don't care about it on my day job. So that's why oftentimes I'll put my video down real tiny over here and have a little screen share or something like that. Because, I don't want you to get a look at my face. So hot flight attendants providing better customer experience. Hospitality is in the eye of the beholder. All right. Researchers from Dickel University. Hold on. I don't know that I pronounced that correctly. It's Dicle. So somebody check my pronunciation. I apologize. I am blind reading this. I did not mean any offense there. I was not trying to make some punny joke there. Dicle University revealed in a recent study that airline passengers believe they receive better customer service from attractive flight attendants. Okay, so passengers believe they receive better customer service from attractive flight attendants. Okay. Exactly. On Pride Month. I didn't mean to do it. I swear. I meant no offense there. I'm just blind reading. I Ron Burgundy the pronunciation there. Uh, Flight attendants with higher levels of attractiveness were found to enhance passengers' motivation to approach. Okay. So it makes them seem naturally more approachable, thereby improving their perceived service quality. Okay, so pretty much what I was sussing out from the headline. I was like, I don't know that there's any real hard metric on that. It's like I'd imagine that's just how certain people perceive other people versus how good and qualified they actually are. It's like I don't see how there could be a legitimate correlation there. The study collected data from 19 men and 18 women. That's it's less than 40 people. That's not a big study at all. Participants ranging from 19 to 47 years old were asked to watch videos rating the cabin crew's customer service. Okay. Attendants who were easy on the eyes received higher rankings than less appealing workers, even if the service wasn't the best. Oh, I do like that where they get a hot chick who's barely wearing anything to just go up and spill stuff on passengers and be like, great experience. She spilled hot coffee all over my crotch, but her cans were in my face the entire time she did it. So 5 stars. So all right. They were less likely to report bad service from attractive crew members. So it's like the bubble. If you've ever watched 30 Rock, funny enough, on Jon Hamm, call back to the ham bone there, he lives in a bubble. So like he thinks he's really good at tennis. He thinks he can order whatever he wants at a restaurant. So even if it's not on the menu, he'll just order off menu items. People just tell him he's good at things, even though he's not, or they let him win because he's too attractive. He's in the bubble. So I think that's kind of what this article is essentially fleshing out into a study that says, yes, attractive people kind of do get the benefit of the doubt, maybe on customer reviews and scoring metrics. Okay. So while people were more likely to say they felt more comfortable asking a dashing tenant for assistance because of their friendly face, researchers found their EEG readings did not correlate with their verbal report. Okay, so it like saw them lying. All right. So yeah, like the EEG would not reflect the level of satisfaction that they were reporting verbally out loud to the people conducting the study. So kind of like a little lie detector thing. All right. So as attractive. All right. So now it goes into a weird thing. Study authors Akin and Atalik encourage airlines to hire, quote, attractive attributes to enhance customer experience. I don't think that's particularly legal, but let's see how this goes for them. As attractive as the hostess may be, frequent flyers should avoid flirting with them to prevent turbulent interactions. Oh, punny. Quote, do not hit on a flight attendant in flight. Do not do that because you are making it awkward. They're at work. I've never shot my shot with a flight attendant. So yeah, they said flight attendants have to be nice to you. So don't misread it as a romantic gesture unless both flyers feel a spark. If you want to shoot your shot, then your best bet is just handing your number over to the flight attendant when you are getting off that plane. I mean, shit, just do that every time, I guess, and do it to every flight attendant on board. And now it seems like they're going to be hiring more attractive ones. This is the way we fix the airline industry. It says, hey, look, the Boeing planes, we made them like trash. They're all going to fall out of the sky. One caught on fire earlier today or last night or some crap. I don't know. But look, there's going to be total hotties around, smoke shows here to take you down. When you're going down in a ball of fire, rest assured there's a smoke show right by your side. Don't you worry. All right. I like that article. It was very dumb. I'm going to give it an 84. I'm only going to drop it a little bit. Okay. Now to this headline. More breaking news that happened like 5 days ago. And let's listen to Tavares again so I can take a drink.
Tavares, right in the butt?
What?
No. Blake,
This is the best.
Yeah, that's it.
All right. So this headline, I saw it the other day. It made a big impact on me when I saw the headline. I did not click on it. I bookmarked it immediately and said, oh my gosh, I got to come back to this at some point. A remote Amazon tribe finally connects to the internet, only to wind up hooked on porn and social media. I mean, good gravy. This is what humanity is all about. Technological progress is right there. Give a remote tribe immediate internet access, and they will find the porn and the social media, and they will love it. It's a beautiful thing to see. All right. So from the headline alone, it's almost as good as Nick Cannon's balls, which I think I rated as a 97. So I'm going to put this in the 94 range. Very, very solid headline. Rodeo MT with the great question: can they order from Amazon? You would hope that the Amazon rainforest is Amazon a rainforest? Is it a desert? What's the Amazon? Well, we're at whatever it is. You would hope that Amazon could get there. If not, what a terrible, terrible representation of their brand. It's almost a whole misnomer. It makes no sense. You can't call yourself Amazon and not deliver to the Amazon. It makes no sense. So yes, they would have to be able to order from Amazon. I feel like they have to. All right. A reclusive tribe. By the way, if somebody's out there, let me know what the Amazon is. Is it a rainforest? Is it a jungle? Is it a desert? What's the Amazon? A reclusive tribe in the Amazon finally got hooked up to the internet thanks to Elon Musk, Starlink stuff. So only to be torn apart by social media and porno addiction. So the elders are complaining about this. All the old people are like, back in my day, we couldn't look at porno on a screen. We had to take mags from the 70s that happened to wash on shore from old shipwrecks and stuff like that. Like, I'd imagine that's what it is. So Brazil's 2,000-member Marubo tribe has been left bitterly divided. This is like a civil war of the tribe by the arrival of the Tesla founder's Starlink service 9 months ago, which connected the remote rainforest community. Yeah, rainforest. All right. I knew it was something. I was like, I think Amazon's a rainforest. Yeah, Nail and Palin would be a good one. Either way, they're definitely watching a lot of stuff. So when it arrived, everyone was happy. But now things have gotten worse. Young people have gotten lazy because of the internet. Oh, I don't like this sentence. I don't think this sentence is fair. Hold on. All right, I'm reading this verbatim from the New York Post, so I apologize. Collect myself here. I apologize. It's a legitimate news broadcast. Now, things have gotten worse. Young people have gotten lazy because of the internet. They're learning the ways of the white people. Okay. I mean, sure. I mean, yeah. We'll take the blame for the porn. I'll own up to this one. I would blame me for this too. As a white person, I would like to accept full responsibility for getting you all hooked on porno. I do. I really do take responsibility for that. You were learning the ways of me, and I'm sorry. So apparently the Marubo have always been a chaste tribe who even frown upon kissing in public. Okay, if they're chaste and they frown upon kissing in public, that means they're absolute ball gag freaks behind the tents. So I don't know what they've been doing there for these last 100 years, but they've been getting freaky. They've been getting Amazon reclusive tribe freaky. So just because they don't kiss in public doesn't mean they're not getting down. So apparently Alfredo Marubo, apparently all Marubo used the same last name. Okay, gotcha. Said he is anxious that the arrival of the service, which delivers super fast internet, has been billed as a game changer, could upend the standards of decorum. Well, sure. Alfredo said many young Marubo men have been sharing porn videos in group chats, and he has already observed more, quote, sexual behavior in some of them. Okay. We're worried young people are going to want to try it, he said of these kinky sex acts they've suddenly been exposed to on screen. I mean, they could have figured a lot of this stuff out. Kama Sutra has been around for years. Everyone is so connected that sometimes they don't even talk to their own family. Oh, no. Oh, porn is tearing these families apart. Can't they just take their devices away? Learn that ways from the white people. Put a curfew on those devices. Starlink works. Yeah, I don't care about how Starlink works. Yeah, it saved lives. Right. Yeah, as and now it's going into all the positive benefits. Hey, it helps people connect. Some people, okay. So, all right, but yeah, back to the bad stuff. In the village, if you don't hunt, fish, and plant, you don't eat. Others now just want to spend their whole afternoons on their phones. Okay. Okay. Tribes people became so addicted that Marubo leaders, fearing that history and culture, which is passed down orally, could be lost forever. They have now limited access to the internet for 2 hours each morning, 5 hours each evening, and all day Sunday. So they got it. They figured it out. You got to put curfews, but parents still worry the damage may already be done. Yeah, once you see Nail and Palin, the damage is done. And I wonder if they had credit cards on file where they could subscribe to specific OnlyFans creators, or if they were just going full, just Wild West, whatever they could get their hands on out there. Your XNXXs, your hubs, what have yous, your X-hamsters, all that stuff. Swank Online, Playboy Channel, Bang Bros, all the big ones. What have you. Still, some officials in Brazil have criticized the rollout to the remote communities, saying special cultures and customs could now be lost forever. Okay. And I'm sorry about that. I'm sorry. I'm sorry that we gave you an unlocked porno. How do you think I felt when I was in 5th, 6th grade or whatever, and they're like, hey, Tommy Lee Jones and Pam Anderson are banging on a boat, and look at Tommy Lee's giant wang. And you're like, okay, I'm just a young lad, and now I'm inundated with this, so I'm sorry. I guess my traditions and customs were lost forever, too, when Tommy Lee and Pam Anderson hooked up. All right. Well, that story made me feel kind of bad. I'm going to go 88 on it. All right, male birth control could finally be a reality with gel that's rubbed on shoulders. I wonder what the gel looks like. That's all I'm going to say, because they could do some bits for sure. They could certainly do some something about Mary style hair gel type bits. But let's see what it looks like. First off, the headline, great stuff. Male birth control could finally be a reality with gel that's rubbed on shoulders. All right. I'm going to give it a solid 85. Good headline. Let's see what the actual story holds. All right, give me Tavares again.
Tavares, right in the butt. No. Blake.
This is the best.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, that's it. This is the best. Oh, there's Zach Tippett. Hey, Zach. If you're just joining us, the breaking news of the day is that father of 12, Nick Cannon, had his balls insured for $10 million. That's what we're really, really focused on today. And it's pretty much just a marketing ploy, but either way, it is breaking. $10 million are what Nick Cannon's balls are worth. Okay, male birth control could finally be a reality with a gel that's rubbed on shoulders. All right, let's see. Wow, what a stock photo. They've actually got a photo of a guy rubbing some gel on his shoulders. Look at that. All right. Let's take a look here. Men may soon be able to shoulder the responsibility of birth control. That's what I expect out of the New York Post right there. Give me just a softball pun to get the article going. A hormonal birth control gel, which is rubbed on each shoulder blade once daily, shows promising results in a new trial. The development of a safe, highly effective, and reliably reversible contraceptive method for men is an unmet need. I guess that's true. You do have to go get the snip, and it's you can reverse those. I've seen the billboards for sure, and I've heard the Michael Scott bit, the snip, snap, snip, snap. I love that bit. But Yes, a reliably reversible contraceptive method for men is an unmet need. I suppose that's true. If you want to disrupt the birth control market, give me something I can rub on my shoulders, and now I never have kids again, or at least for that month or whatever. I don't know how long the tenure is of, or the sorry, how long the duration of the gel is, but we'll find out here. So, okay, the phase 2 trial included 222 men aged 18 to 50, all of whom used around a teaspoon of the gel made up of the testosterone and progesterone acetate. Okay, I don't know what those big words mean. In the trial, 86% of the men had a suppression of their special sauce after an average of 8 weeks, which is faster than the researchers expected. Okay, so this is where I don't know what the things and the words mean. So this is sperm suppression. So I don't know what that means. They should make it a moisturizer and sunscreen. Good call. From the commenter there. I agree. And let's just put that up right on the screen because I can do that every now and then. They should make it a 3-in-1 moisturizer and sunscreen. Good call. So it says, yeah, they had sperm suppression after an average of 8 weeks. I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means. I'm going to be honest. I didn't pay enough attention in health class. So I guess that just means you're shooting blanks, is what that means. 86% of men had sperm suppression after an average of 8 weeks. Okay. I'm looking. Studies have shown that hormonal agents may be effective. Right. Researchers think this one could work quickly and require less testosterone. It's also meant to keep men from producing sperm without impacting their sex drive or causing other side effects. Yeah, that's essentially what I was getting at. I was like, if you're suppressing everything, I was like, are we just are we sterilizing men? I was like, what's happening exactly? Like, is it temporary sterilization? And like, yeah, does it reduce? So it says it does not impact sex drive or cause other side effects. Researchers said that men's blood testosterone levels have stayed low enough to keep their normal sexual function. Okay. Weird. I mean, I'm happy to do my part. If it's just rubbing some gel on there, great. I certainly don't want to feel like a whole new person, or like be into weird new things where it's like, oh, I don't want to go down that road. But hey, I no longer like women's butts and boobs. Now I just like reading books and watching birds. Like I don't want that to happen. So hopefully I just rub the gel on there and then it's just blank shooting forever. I don't know. Or as long as you rub the gel on. Okay. Past trials took about 15 weeks for men to start seeing results. So this one's about 8 weeks. So a more rapid time to suppression may increase the attractiveness and acceptability of this drug to potential users. All right. Okay. Researchers are now studying how well the gel protects against pregnancy because of the. Shouldn't you just rub it right on your? I mean, I don't want to say it, but I mean, I guess it takes 8 weeks, so no, you can't rub it right on your unit thing, your love stick. Yeah, because it's gonna take 8 weeks, so it's not like an instant on. All right. Because of this, the participants in the trial were required to be in committed monogamous relationships and have consent from their female partners. They promised to have sex at least once a month for a year. Great deal if you can get it. If you can get that in writing, outstanding. It's just like, hey, once a month here, gonna come call in. We've got to be monogamous, but you do have to agree to this in writing for science. So okay, yeah, there are no federally approved birth control drugs for men. So, all right, that's about all this article is. Didn't do a ton for me overall. Kind of creeped me out more. I'm glad there's a gel. I think we should be creating more gels for more things. Like I said, moisturizer, sunscreen, put it all in a gel. Let me sleep in a gelatinous state for all I care. Let me be in suspended animation and goo. I'm all good with it. I'm going to give it a 78. All right, on to this next one here, where apparently sex has unique health benefits for chronically stressed moms. Good for the moms out there. And real quick, let's go back to Tavares.
Tavares, Right in the butt?
What?
No. Blake.
This is the best.
Yeah, that's it.
This is the best. Yeah, that's it. All right. Great headline. Sex has unique health benefits for chronically stressed moms. Study finds. So if your mom's just normal stress, like if you got a MILF at home that's just normal stress, not going to help. Day-to-day stress, no good. These women have to be chronically stressed all the time. It's a chronic issue, chronic stress, and you need to just start working it, going downtown. All right, taking to Pound Town. All right, so let's see what we got here. Great headline. I'm going to go 93 on the headline right off the jump. Strong headline. Not as good as Nick Cannon. Remember, Nick Cannon's was rated 97. There's a strong headline there. So let's get into this. Let's see what we got. Okay. Let's see what these MILFs are into. Stressed out moms are getting new orders from the Love Doctor. A new study revealed that sex can help mothers stave off the damaging effects of stress, particularly metabolic disorders. The findings showed that those who regularly engaged in sexual activity showed higher levels of healthy metabolic hormones than sexually inactive moms. Great. I think everybody should print this study out and just put it up on your refrigerator. So long-term stress is hard on the body. Yeah, it is. Raising the risk of heart disease, diabetes, depression, stroke, and obesity. Meanwhile, research has shown that any amount of added physical activity can help prevent such diseases. Yeah, goat your wife into it that way. Say, hey, honey, research has shown that any amount of physical activity can help prevent heart disease. Want to hook up? If that doesn't get her in the mood, I don't know what will, fellas. Okay. Yeah, it's crucial to explore protective factors for chronic stress. And as a relationship researcher, this woman is particularly interested in how various aspects of the relational experiences might serve such a protective role. That was a nothing sentence. Sexual activity emerged as a promising candidate due to its stress-relieving effects and its positive impact on processes such as sleep. Okay. Yeah, I mean, wear her out, fellas. I mean, that's basically what this article is telling you to do here, is that you have to relieve that stress and you got to work her out to where it impacts her sleep positively. To our knowledge, no previous work has examined whether sexual activity can buffer the biological effects of stress. What a great study to be a part of. So this research was exploratory in nature, aiming to fill that gap. There were definitely some gaps filled in this research for sure. So researchers asked 183 women aged 20 to 50 with at least one child to partake in regular perceived stress scale assessments over 2 years. The child had to be living at home and under 16. So like moms, not like, moms whose kids are out in college and stuff like that. During each assessment period, participants would ask to do a 7-day diary questionnaire and clinic visits to collect, health data, metabolic indicators, insulin resistance, a bunch of like medical stuff. So they would basically bring them in for tests. And then the final 2 assessments were most consequential to the research, as they were the only ones to focus on questions about hooking up, asking moms each day if they'd engaged in any activity the night before, while also measuring for related variables such as overall relationship satisfaction and physical activity in everyday life. Those who reported having a hookup session at least once during the week-long assessment were considered sexually active. Okay. All right, so people with high stress. So total 101 women out of that 180, it looks like, were considered sexually active. Right. And highly stressed moms are more likely to show higher levels of insulin resistant levels than low stress moms, except when sexual activity was a factor. Okay. All right, so they basically had to figure out who was high stress initially, who was low stress initially, and then figured out if hooking up lowered the stress. That's That's basically what this article is going through and saying here, that in a nutshell, our findings suggest that stress-related detriments in metabolic health were significantly reduced among those who were sexually active. Great. And what good on the New York Post for squeezing a headline out of that, because I mean, I think the article was about a 52. It was basically like, hey, exercise is good for you. Outstanding. I appreciate their article there. Okay, let's see what else we got here. Final article. Yeah, okay, so yeah, this is the Fonz. Okay. So this is not a New York Post exclusive by any means here, but this one's just a fun one. So Henry Winkler explains how his 30-year feud with Tom Hanks began. And before we start that, let's just get a listen to Tavares real quick.
Tavares, right in the butt?
What?
No. Blake.
This is the best.
Yeah, that's it.
New York City.
New York City.
New York City.
That's right. We're focused on New York City because this is you, me, and the New York P. Like I said, subscribe to the YouTube channel if you're not watching there. I don't know. Go do all that stuff. So, our final story of the week. Henry Winkler explains how his 30-year feud with Tom Hanks began. All right. Headline, vanilla is all get out. It's a 50 headline. So nothing fancy there in the headline field. But I just want to talk about this because this is the damn Fonz. Two of the nicest guys in Hollywood somehow have a beef with each other. And so the first line of the article here, the feud of all feuds. Henry Winkler addressed his rumored years-long drama with Tom Hanks that began back in the 80s. And so I guess he was on a podcast called How to Fail recently. And he essentially covered the story that he talked about a couple times before previously, that he was originally slated to direct the 1989 film Turner and Hooch, which starred old Tom Hanks. And so basically, Tom Hanks is a detective, and he's solving the murder of his former partner while caring for that partner's dog. And so Henry Winkler was the one directing this. He said, I did 11 weeks of prep, Winkler said, and project eventually went to this guy, Roger Spottiswoode, fine director. But Winkler said, yeah, I knew this dog, this slobbery mastiff, and he and I became friends. But the star did not become my friend. And so Winkler was asked if he meant Hanks, and he responded, I probably do. So before he was fired from the film, Winkler and Hanks, old the Fonzie and Tom Hanks himself, America's dad, two of the nicest guys around. Everybody will tell you. Henry Winkler, one of the nicest dudes you'll meet. Tom Hanks, one of the nicest guys around. But apparently they had an interaction with a fan that Winkler believes caused a strain on their relationship. So he says, quote, we were in Carmel, this little seaside, wonderful town on the coast of California, looking for a location. So they're scouting locations for the film. And a woman comes, honest to God, comes running out of a shop. And again, this is, let me look at the year here. Yeah, 1989. So a woman comes running out of a shop and says, Henry, Fonz, oh my God. And I say, yeah. And of course, you know Tom Hanks, Winkler said. And so then Fonzie's fired 13 days after that. And so the director of photography, when I was fired 13 days into filming, said, quote, I knew that was going to happen on that day in Carmel. So I don't know if this was some kind of rift, and that's kind of what's been kind of implied over the years, is that whatever this woman said or however she approached, she was clearly like either way too into Fonzie, and then the way either Henry Winkler tried to deflect back over to Hanks, or maybe didn't deflect over to Hanks. Maybe he's trying to retroactively change the story now. Either way, didn't put a good taste in Tom Hanks' mouth about having Henry Winkler direct the film. So back in 93, Winkler sparked the rumors about this feud with old Tom Hanks when he told people, quote, let's just say I got along better with Hooch than I did with Turner. And then back in 2020, Ron Howard even commented on it and said, quote, it was a little disappointing that Winkler and Hanks didn't get along. And he was quoted saying, quote, I'm friends with them both, and both men felt compelled to come and talk to me about it. So again, all these dudes, just the nicest dude. Ron Howard, Henry Winkler, Tom Hanks. But Ron Howard went on to say, it was just one of those unfortunate things where they really had a working style that did not fit. And so that is tricky. I don't perceive both of them as like two hardcore alphas, but I do think they both probably have a particular way of working on set that they would like. And maybe just Tom Hanks didn't want Henry Winkler to direct him. He didn't want to take directorial, maybe he didn't trust him as a director. I don't know what Henry Winkler went on to direct after that. So I don't know. But it seems like it probably was just a professional, hey, I don't really care for this guy's style, or I don't want to take direction from him. So Ron Howard added, I know it was painful for both of them, and I was able to lend an ear, if not offer any solutions. So I don't think they've ever like made amends, but Henry Winkler did comment back in 2020 again that I don't have a feud with Tom Hanks. What everybody says and what is true are two different things. And then 2 years later, 2022, Winkler clarified that he and Hanks are, quote, cordial when they cross paths. Quote, I ran into Tom and Rita Wilson at an award show just before the pandemic, and it was very warm. It's all very cordial. Final line, Hanks has never spoken about his alleged beef with Winkler. Because he probably doesn't need to. That's it. Tom Hanks, known as the nicest man in Hollywood. Being the nicest man in Hollywood does take some work. And some of that work is not commenting on the fact that maybe Henry Winkler was an idiot. Like, maybe they went location scouting and Henry Winkler had the worst ideas. And even Tom Hanks in 1989 was like, no, that's a bad location, or I don't like your vibe for this particular scene that we're talking about here. So no, I don't know, but maybe they won't both try to take a run at that lady. Maybe that lady who ran up, maybe Tom Hanks had dated her previously or something like that. And then she went and hooked up with the Fonz that night. I don't know. Fonz is a powerful sexual being back in those days. So overall, the story did about what I thought it was going to do. 48. I just like talking about the Fonz. So now let's get to the winner of the week. Let's see who wins. That's right. I'm walking here, of course. The breaking news of the day. Father of 12, Nick Cannon, has his balls insured for $10 million. You did it, Nick. You're the winner. You've won this week on You, Me, and the New York P. Wonderful. Well, thanks, y'all, for hanging out. I'm going to wrap this thing up. And if you didn't come for me and you came for the P, thank you. Either way, I'll see you again when I see you. Hopefully it's next week sometime. Congratulations to father of 12, Nick Cannon, for having his balls insured for $10 million. I'm sure that'll work out really well for him. Apologies to the remote Amazon tribe that finally connected to the internet. You made a really good run at it. You just didn't get the win this week. All right, I will see you cats next time. And remember, I don't know. I don't have a sign-off phrase yet. Remember, sign-off phrase, insert here.